What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more QBA Draft League Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We are going into week 2 versus the Raging Raikous. This is a pretty interesting battle overall. So let's talk a little bit about my opponent's team, right? They have a Raikou, obviously, as the mascot, Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Slowbro, Urshifu Single Strike, Dragapult, Metagross, Zarude as their mythical, Togekiss, and Crustle. So some things that immediately stand out to me are the fact that my opponent's team is really fast, right? You have Raikou at base 115, you have Dragapult at 142, and you have Zarude at 105. So you have three things that hit very hard and very fast. So that's obviously something to look out for. There's also the Metagross. I think Metagross has just a ton of potential in terms of what it can do in terms of damage output. Obviously, weakness policy is very scary. Tapu Fini, another potential threat that can do a lot of work. We did see Slowbro as well as Arcanine putting in a lot of work last week. So overall, like just other things to really be scared of. I don't really expect to see Crustle, but overall, I think something to worry about still. And also Urshifu, a very scary threat, right? That priority sucker punch is something to worry about. So hopping over to my team, let's talk a little bit about it. So first of all, we do obviously have Weezing Gigas. We are running Weezing with just enough speed that at -1, or it will outspeed an Urshifu at -1. So the idea is if you pair it with Gigas, you can max strike Urshifu, and then you can KO it here in the event that it is, what's it called, Focus Sash. So that was really my thought process there. Other than that, really wanted to bulk in defense as much as possible, right? We have the ability to really put in work against a lot of what my opponent has with these two core. Obviously, Will-O-Wisp, very nice. Sludge Bomb, mainly there for Tapu Fini. We do have to be a little bit weary of Tapu Fini just dealing a bunch of damage, though. So it is possible that I might switch last minute from Focus Sash to, what's it called? From Focus Sash to Black Sludge. Weezing, I mean, not Weezing, Regigigas, pretty standard. We are running Ice Punch and Darkest Lariat. Ice Punch, a really good option for things like Dragapult, and then Darkest Lariat, really there for opposing Metagross as like the thing to hit. We next up have Clefable. I mean, not Clefable, Clefairy. Clefairy, a really great option with that follow me support as well as Friend Guard, right? Being able to redirect attacks and let some of our hitters really put in work. That's kind of what I wanted to go for here. And yeah, pretty standard set. We do have the advantage that Moonblast is going to be able to KO an Urshifu, but odds are we are probably just going to go for Follow Me. And the fact that you can kind of completely null out an opponent's Pokemon is really great. But we do have to potentially be a little bit worried about something like Metagross. Next up, we have Zapdos. Zapdos pretty straightforward. We are just trying to do as much damage as possible. I opted for the Expert Belt mainly because I wanted Life Orb on Marshadow, and I'll talk a little bit about that decision when we get to it. But yeah, it's a pretty standard set. Hurricane, Heatwave, Thunderbolt. My main leads are either going to be Weezing Gigas or Clefairy, Zapdos, depending on what my opponent brings. And just the idea that these two are really strong cores, right? Like Zapdos, if we go back to my opponent's team, Zapdos, other than this, like has very good damage onto Arcanine, has super effective here, super effective here, super effective here, good damage here, super effective, super effective, super effective. I don't know about Crustle. I don't know how Crustle works. So maybe super effective. So overall, Zapdos, a really solid pick, especially paired with Clefairy, getting some extra buffs, especially with that Dynamax, and then being able to just absolutely put in some work. Wrapping things up, first of all, we do have Mamoswine. Mamoswine, not something I've ever really used before, but something I'm really excited to try out here. Just kind of see what it can do. We did stick it with a Lumberry, mainly because of Arcanine being weary of something like a Will-O-Wisp or similarly a Dragapult, worrying about that Will-O-Wisp. And we do have the ability nicely to go for an Ice Shard versus the opposing Dragapults. We also do have Icicle Crash and High Horsepower as solid damage. And then finally, we do have Marshadow. We are bringing back our little restricted. I was a little bit worried about it, but I had forgotten initially that because it is dark type, it does not take super effective from Wicked Blow. So that's kind of the main idea with that. We are running just enough speed to outspeed, what's it called, Raikou, because that is really the big thing. With Life Orb, we will be able to KO a standard Dragapult with no bulk with Shadow Sneak. So that was my idea. Close combat just to hit really hard. Spectral Thief, overall its signature move. Let's see if we can finally get to do something. And then Thunder Punch, mainly for those bulky waters. So that's a little bit about my team. I'm waiting for my opponent, and once we get the go-ahead, we will just jump right into the first battle. All right, we are hopping right into this. So quickly grabbing the QBA team. Let's see what my opponent is bringing this time around. Yeah, like I said, that'll really determine what lead we want to go with. I do expect to see Zarude, but let's see. I do expect to see Urshifu. Urshifu, not saying Urshifu would be great, but we are going to see Raikou, Feeny, Zarude, Arcanine, Slowbro, and Ursh. So this feels like a Regigigas Weezing lead. For sure. I like... I like Zapdos a lot. I like Mamoswine. Do I like Mamoswine? Let's bring Marshadow and Zapdos in the back. So Gigas Weezing. All right. So yeah, looks like everything works out. I do expect to see what could be potentially tricky is a Slowbro with Urshifu lead, because then it's like, oh, I have to worry about Trick Room. But we can adjust to that fairly easily by going for a taunt with Weezing. So I'm hoping that Weezing Gigas kind of carries me, or we can make the adjustment. We know that there's no Togekiss, so that's something really huge for us. And also, oh, no Metagross. So the two things that I was fairly worried about. So we are going to see Raikou lead with Urshifu lead. So I'm very inclined just to double up into Urshifu. Yeah, let's just double up into Urshifu. Let's do this as well as a Sludge Bomb here. Right, we know that Raikou is fairly passive. It could be screens. So that also suggests to me an adjustment we could make is if we expect Raikou again, we can lead with Marshadow to try and get advantage there. But we are going to just go straight for the max. Feeling pretty good overall. Like I said, let's see kind of how it plays out. Yeah, okay. So we are going to get big. Raikou, okay, oh! Slower than Gigas. And Focus Sash. Nice. Focus Sash. Does Raikou... There's no way Raikou gets... Oh. Does not work on Dynamax. That's really unfortunate. It is Roar, so we do have to be a little bit cognizant with Weezing. So that explains the differences in speed. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe they just didn't expect... He didn't expect me to max, but I mean, I have no reason not to. We do have to obviously be a little bit worried about... what's it called? About that in the second battle, but not a big deal. We are going to see Arcanine in the back, which is really great for us. We do have another Max Strike here. I'm going to go for a taunt onto Raikou just to try to make it so you cannot roar out Weezing. But that shouldn't be an issue, but it's always good just to see. We are going to see Arcanine Max here, so that is something to be cognizant of. We do have Focus Sash still intact, so that's really good for us. We can, like I said, switch from the Gigas lead into what's it called? Into Zapdos. Let's see how much the strike does. Strike does 60%. 60% to max. Nice, solid damage here. We will get the taunt off, so this could it could be another Roar. We are going to see a Knuckle come out, so this is definitely into Gigas. And potentially like a Reflect from Raikou. So let's try and learn a little bit about what this Raikou is doing. Yeah, okay, so it is Reflect, just like I thought. Get a Strike here, and let's just get a Sludge Bomb onto you. So Reflect. Cool. Max Strike, yeah, gonna come out. onto Raikou, or onto Arcanine for the KO. Nice. We will be able to just get some more damage out. We do still have to, I mean, we still have to KO the Arcanine at some point, but it looks very passive, so trying to get some damage on it here, and then once we, yeah, it should be a Thunderbolt, yep, into Weezing. Into Weezing. 100 T-Bolt. Cool. And we'll see Zarude in the back. So what I'm thinking now is we protect. We go for an Ice Punch because we can, right? We have an Ice Punch here as well as a Protect with Weezing. This should let us KO pretty effectively, right? Especially because there's no chance of switching. We will have to take a hit from Zarude, which, let's see. I don't actually know what it does for a couple because it's a mythical. So interested to see. It's also just like very new. But let's see what's gonna happen here. Yeah, solid protect is fine. Zarude should be faster. Oh, Zarude is slower than Gigas, and it eats up. Wow, it eats up hits. Darkest Lariat. Oh wow, it is a chunky boy. Life Orb. So this is fine. I'm gonna bring up Marshadow because Marshadow is expected, and I don't want to reveal that I have what's it called? That I have Zapdos if I can avoid it. Close Combat super effective on Zarude? What? Do I just not know how this Pokemon works? I'm actually going to Close Combat Raikou and Sludge Bomb into Zarude. That was a good read. Marshadow with the Close Combat. Yeah, that's a KO onto Raikou. You should not be able to KO both of us, so that should be a good spot. We are revealing we are Life Orb, but that's fine. Darkest Lariat comes out into Marshadow. Marshadow going to survive, which is huge. So that is not KO. Quick GG. And we can make an adjustment. Yeah, I would like a lead card. Those are always nice. Play with the same rules. So now the question is what adjustment? I mean, it honestly feels fine to potentially just bring the same two. Zarude is a little scary, not gonna lie. So that makes me want to bring Mamoswine over Zapdos. I think that makes sense, having Mamoswine in the back. Arcanine is very scary. Arcanine is actually very scary. So that's something to consider because of the fact that, right, Arcanine can just intimidate and KO Mamoswine. So I still think we lead Regigigas Weezing. Is it worth leaving Mamoswine? I mean, worth leaving Marshadow? Let's try that. So let's bring Mamo over Marshadow. Which I think, right, I think that would have been fine last game too because of the fact that we would have had the Ice Shard onto Zarude and then can KO from there. I think the adjustment, right, is you want to try to... You want to set up a Reflect, which I know you have. So if you get the Reflect up, that should let Urshifu take a hit. And from there, we're forced to spend 2 turns dealing with it. And then we have to really sort of adjust. So I'm gonna try and just, my idea is if we can get down Arcanine speed enough, we can try and win with Mamoswine in the endgame. We also do have Zapdos, I think, as a solid adjustment, as we will see Raikou Slowbro lead with Raikou. So I expect a Trick Room here. I'm gonna do this. What we have to worry about is if you max, you could just, yeah, you could max immediately and then KO Weezing, but I think that that's fine. I think I'm fine with that, because what happens then is if you KO Weezing, we can bring out Zapdos, which is good for us, and then yeah, we are going to see the Reflect come out. This suggests to me a taunt, or wait, I have Focus Sash. Why do I care? Also, we can just KO, which is nice. Crit, definitely unfortunate. I'm gonna... Yeah, that's definitely an unfortunate crit. We are gonna make it so you cannot... I mean, probably what? We saw Reflect, we saw T-Bolt, we saw Roar. So I don't really know what the last move is, but it could be another attack, right? It should be another attack because of Mamoswine. This is definitely an unfortunate spot to be in because of that crit, right? Because that whole Reflect setup really mattered here. We are going to see Zarude come out. I'm going to Hailstorm you and go for a Will-O-Wisp. I'm going to Will-O-Wisp you as well. We could see Zarude get big here. So my thought process, right, is if you want to get probably more than that, I should have gone for a Strike. Strike would have probably been better, just because of the fact that it lowers the speed for things like Mamoswine. Whereas, or wait, we saw that Zarude is faster. Zarude is slower than Gigas. Slower than Gigas, yeah. So that's actually a big deal. Because it will let us fire off an attack. So you could double up into Weezing, which I think is fine. We will see the Thunderbolt into Gigas. It's going to do absolutely nothing because Gigas is an absolute tank. We are going to, unfortunately, break our own Focus Sash, but... Oh. Okay, I was like, we're going to get some great damage onto Zarude. No, we're not. Darkness comes out. Is this into Weezing? Yeah. Into Weezing. Weezing actually takes that super well, which is great. So if we hit the Will-O-Wisp, I would feel really great. Which we do. Awesome. That is huge for us. I'm going to go for a Max Strike at this point, because I think we want to just get as much damage as possible onto the Zarude. With the burnout, we're really going to be in a strong position. Hailstorm 130, so that's going to do 260 versus 225. I care a little bit more about the drop in speed, and that's going to let us fire off a Protect here. It is, yeah, because Raikou should not have a way to deal with Mamoswine based on what we've seen. Priority Ice Shard going to be a little bit huge in this endgame. Also, you are going to take extra recoil as a result of the Life Orb. So Thunderbolt once again going to come out into Gigas. That's actually a really big deal. Overgrowth going to come out into Gigas, it looks like. So we should take that. We do take that. Overgrowth. I think that... Okay, so we are going to see the Life Orb. We do fire off the Strike, so that's actually a really big deal. Zarude low at this point. It is going to recover a little bit from, from the terrain, but you are also taking into account that there is going to be chip both from the hail as well as the burn. So overall, I think a solid position here. We are going to have Gigas be the fastest. Oh, just kidding. I was going to say Gigas is going to be the fastest thing on the field. That's not the case because of the paralysis. So a little unfortunate, but Zarude, it looks like it should be in range of hopefully an Ice Shard from Mamoswine. This is your second. Okay, so yeah, this is your last turn of Max, which is fine for us. We can. I'm gonna Giga Impact into Raikou, and I'm gonna just attempt to Sludge Bomb this Zarude. I think that's probably our best bet. I think the priority with what's it called, with Mamoswine is going to be really big here, right? We can get around the potential difference in speed, and with the burn and the hail, even though there is grassy terrain, right? We should be fine. Raikou, not super worried about. Definitely a little scary. This also does mean that Zapdos is faster, so Zapdos does have access to Heat Wave. So Heat Wave hitting on the special side, making Raikou not really that big of a deal, especially if we see something like, okay, so Thunderbolt going to come out into Regigigas. We are going to lose Gigas here, so this probably is going to be a double knockout, right? We should see Weezing go down to, oh, Weezing is, that's a big deal. Weezing is fast. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Weezing going to pick up a knockout. I'm tempted to bring out Mamoswine here. I'm gonna bring out Zapdos. I think the last one should be Urshifu, right? It should be Urshifu. Yeah, it's gonna be Urshifu. I am going to attempt to Hurricane it as well as go for a Will-O-Wisp. So we are going a little bit of chance here because, right, we are relying on inaccurate moves. But if we get this, we should, I mean, we'll have it wrapped up because we have Mamoswine to deal with stuff in the end game. So we are saying a 70% chance to win. We are potentially losing Zapdos as a result, which, you know, not ideal, but we can adjust with Zapdos, I think, as an option for game 3 based on how we've seen things play out. We could also lead Zapdos. I mean, not Zapdos, lead Mamoswine. Good, very good read there. We are going to see probably a Thunderbolt come out, or what, a Light Screen? Yeah, that's going to come out. That's fine. Roar. Okay, so Roar into Zapdos. That's going to bring out Mamoswine, which is fine. We're going to... Oh, we're going to break a potential Sash. We are not going to do that. Let's double up into Urshifu this turn because it just attacked. This is actually a little bit closer than I would have liked. I'm hoping that Raikou cannot actually deal damage to Mamoswine. So we're gonna see a close combat come out into Mamoswine. That is a KO. Could have calced for that. Oh yeah, we know that you're Focus Sash. Oh god, that's bad. KO with CC. That is terrible news. So I should have... The correct play then was to... Oh god, that's so bad. Hurricane. I should have Ice Sharded to break the Sash, damage onto Raikou. So it looks like we're getting a game 3. We also just missed the Hurricane, so that's fine. Wicked Blow going to come out. This should be a KO. This double up should be a KO. Quick GG. And so now the adjustment to be made for game 3. We saw a lead of Raikou Slowbro and then into Zarude. I think the play here is to lead Zapdos Clefairy. That follow me, I think it is going to be really important. And also, we haven't seen anything that indicates that you can do good damage onto me. So let's go with that. I want Marshadow back just because I love Marshadow. Yeah, let's go with that. I think, like I said, Zapdos going to be a really solid adjustment here for a lead with Clefairy, which was something I talked about. I don't, because right, you're trying to adjust for Gigas Weezing. I think you are definitely going to lead Raikou for a third time. So being able to kind of adjust for that, I think will be really important. And I think that Zapdos really is going to give me an option for that, especially with Clefairy. We are primarily specially bulky, so a little bit scary there. But Zapdos, Clefairy lead, Marshadow, and then Mamoswine. Let's do that. My thought process with Marshadow Mamoswine is having access to priority. There's also no Dragapult, so everything that I calced for is wrong. So I could have put the Life Orb somewhere else, but I didn't. So what? Yeah, I think Zapdos is a good adjustment, right? We have super effective onto Zarude. Zarude looks like it doesn't have a ton of good damage onto us. Clefairy being able to adjust from there. And then, what am I saying? Yeah, Zapdos overall in a solid position. And if we can set up Electric Terrain too, that can help Marshadow deal some damage. Urshifu obviously with Clefairy, we have a better position, but I do expect potentially to see a, what's it called? A Slowbro or an Urshifu again. I think both would be scary, right? We are going to see a lead of Raikou Zarude. Okay. Lead of Raikou, lead of Zarude. That is totally fine with me. We have a Follow Me as well as a Max Airstream onto this Zarude. I think Airstream, yep, very important. Follow Me. Let's just try to get some damage coming. Oh, wait, Zarude is Grass Dark? What type is Zarude? I don't know what type this thing is. Zarude. That's like probably important to know. It's dark grass. Okay, it is dark. I thought it was... Why did I think it was bug? No one pay attention to me. It's fine. It's whatever. Dark grass makes a lot more sense, which is why that thing is hitting so hard. We are going to see a Zarude swap into an Arcanine in the back. So probably predicting a... what's it called? A Max Flare, which Airstream should do a really significant chunk, and I'm thinking we do kind of want to pressure out this Zarude early, just because of the fact that we have to rely on Airstream. We do have Heat Wave, but like I don't want to rely on that too much. So let's see here. We are going to see a potential Roar from Raikou onto the Clefairy, which is fine with me. We are going to see Light Screen. So that's actually really good to know, because if we do... Screens are huge. That is so bulky. Let's go for a Helping Hand. I'm hoping that if you don't max, Helping Hand should be enough to KO. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. So we know Zapdos is Raikou's full moveset. That's fine. It's gonna do. Oh, that crits. Unfortunate. We do fire this off. This should be really. That should be. Oh my goodness! Why is that not a KO? That's a really big deal. Probably a Reflect. Okay, we're gonna see just a straight Thunderbolt. onto Clefairy. That's fine. I'm going to flare here and go for a protect on Clefairy. So this, I mean, this should KO Arcanine, and now what we're doing is we're setting this up so Heatwave can deal with Zarude. We are going to take a little bit of chunk from this Arcanine, so my max has been stalled. Did a really good job stalling out that max, which is fine. Zarude, as far as we can see, doesn't have a way to increase its speed. So we are going to see a Thunderbolt. That's fine. Clefairy really, really helping out here. I'm expecting to see Zarude come in again. Right? It should be Zarude. We do now have... Okay, so we're going to see your Shifu, which is interesting, because Clefairy actually can KO it. So I'm going to Thunderbolt and go for a Moonblast onto you. So this double up should be enough. That way we're not relying on anything. Oh my goodness. Thunderbolt going to come out into Zapdos, into Clefairy. Definitely unfortunate there. So we are going to take a Wicked Blow. Yep, and Zapdos should live. Right, Zapdos. 10 is enough to live. Let's bring out Marshadow. I'm going to do this. Marshadow can live a Sucker Punch and get the KO back. That means Raikou is essentially useless versus me. We are going to see a Protect. That was smart. This means that you can... I should have hit into Raikou. That's fine. Heat Wave going to do some... Oh my goodness, please burn. Thank you. I appreciate that. Close Combat going to come out. That's fine. Reflect Up. Okay. So... we are at least getting good chip onto Raikou. I'm going to protect Zapdos and Close Combat into the Urshifu anyway. I need to get as much damage as possible before Zarude comes back. That burn is going to be really huge. If you go for a Sucker Punch, right, we have bulk, quote unquote bulk on Marshadow. So I'm hoping you Sucker Punch Zapdos. Please Sucker Punch Zapdos. Sick. Love that. Marshadow going for the Close Combat. Please be a KO. Oh, Marshadow, what a beast. We know that you're going to go for I'm guessing you're going to go for a Thunderbolt from you onto... we're going to see a Thunderbolt come out onto Marshadow. Yep. Onto Marshadow. Please live. Perfect. Burn really racking up damage. So we now have a super effective hit onto your Zarude, as well as... yeah, because you're definitely going to max here. I'm going to go for Heat Wave because it's boosted by Sun. We do have a Close Combat that we can hit you with. This should be... yeah, so, I mean, you're obviously going to max here. We just need to get as much damage as possible, and then hope that Mamoswine... if we put you in range that Mamoswine can KO you, then we win, right? Because Mamoswine can... doesn't have to worry about Zapdos at all. I mean, not Zapdos. Worry about Raikou at all. So we are going to see Zarude get really big, and yeah, losing my Mac. Raikou is so good here. I should have led Marshadow. Marshadow would have been a great lead. Please burn. No burn. Close Combat going to come out. That's solid damage. That's super solid damage. We need to not see an Overgrowth. Please just Darkness. We're going to see a Thunderbolt into Zapdos. Yep, into Zapdos. We should see a Darkness. Okay, so we should see a Darkness come out into... yep, into Marshadow. Perfect. Marshadow going to go down. So the $1,000,000 question, right? We know that Mamoswine is immune to all damage from this Raikou. So the question is, can we KO you with an Ice Shard? All of this entire game is coming down to this Ice Shard, which is scary. Actually, no, we're gonna protect. We're gonna protect here. You have to take Life Orb recoil, and then what that lets us do is that lets us fire off an Ice Shard when you are a little bit lower, whereas going for it full. I mean, I'm assuming I can live in Overgrowth. I mean, I should live in Overgrowth. That should give me a little bit more damage onto you, and then hopefully put you in Ice Shard range. We will see. Yeah, the Overgrowth. Yep. Oh, this is so scary. This is so scary. Yeah. Okay. You're very low. You take 1/10, recover 1/16. So you are lower now. Why couldn't Reflect be gone? Really wish Reflect was gone. Or I really wish. Yeah, that is the wrong screen. Ice Shard onto Zarude. I mean, this is it. If we get the KO here, we get the win. If we smart, interesting. Okay, you're trying to recover more. You cannot deal damage to me. We're gonna see the light screen. Light screen is fine. It's interesting that you are max guarded. I mean, you're trying to recover more HP. That makes sense. But you are now giving up your max, so you're going to be at half HP. So, yeah, it's still going to be a question of can we pick up this KO with Ice Shard? We gotta press forward and hope that Mamoswine can take us home. Like I said, if we get this, we get the win. Zarude is in the red. This is stab super effective Mamoswine. Really wish I put the extra pelt on Mamoswine. Moment of truth. I should have wise glasses. Come on. KO. Yes. Nice. Okay. So literally by the skin of our teeth, we are going to be able to pull this off because yeah, we have seen Roar, Reflect, Light Screen, and T-Bolt. So we know that you have no damage onto this Mamoswine. So definitely a very, very scary best of 3. This ending is very close. Huge shout out to Donut Eater for this incredible game. I know that I definitely felt more prepared for it, and I feel like the preparation really paid off this time, right? In terms of things like the Weezing and everything. So a really clutch set. I think it worked out for me in this, obviously, and hopefully we can keep riding this high. So yeah, once again, a huge shout out for Donut Eater, for everyone else in the league, and I can't wait to upload some more battles. And with that, yeah, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.